Buckle up, guys. Today we're stepping into a courtroom that already has history behind it. The judge opens by setting strict ground rules, no interruptions. Everyone gets a turn. That calm but firm tone tells you this isn't a first-time dispute. There are prior orders, prior hearings, and a clear sense that the court expects structure. Right from the start, you can feel this is about enforcement, not storytelling. The father's attorney starts methodically, framing the issue around the children rather than the parents. He talks about emotional bonds, stability, and missed parenting time as harm to the kids. That's a strategic move because courts prioritize child welfare above personal conflict. By keeping the focus on children, he positions every missed visit as a legal problem, not just a family disagreement. Now the attorney highlights contradictions between serious allegations and prior behavior suggesting cooperation. In court, consistency equals credibility. When actions don't match accusations, judges take notice. This isn't about proving everything false. It's about showing that the narrative being presented doesn't align with documented interactions. The pattern becomes a centerpiece: multiple motions, multiple violations, and repeated trips back to court. Judges look for patterns because they show intent and whether prior sanctions worked. When someone keeps ignoring orders despite penalties, the court starts considering stronger enforcement. The mother speaks and introduces the long list of allegations involving police, CPS, and therapy. The problem is scope. This hearing is narrowly about whether parenting time orders were followed. Expanding into unrelated claims risks losing the judge's attention and weakens the immediate legal position. She continues disputing statements one by one, but avoids directly addressing whether the exchanges happened. In a compliance hearing, that's critical. The judge is tracking actions tied to specific orders, not general disagreements. So indirect answers don't carry much weight. The father's testimony is short and direct. He showed up, called police, and was refused. That kind of concise, fact-based testimony is powerful because it's easy for the court to match with dates and prior rulings. No extra narrative, just documented attempts and denials. The description of doors being shut, even in front of officers, turns the issue into a concrete act rather than a claim. Courts rely on specific events like that because they are observable and verifiable, making the violation easier to establish. The grandmother's testimony reinforces the same timeline. Independent witnesses matter because they reduce the appearance of bias. Her account mirrors the father's: arrivals, refusals, police calls, and no exchanges, which strengthens a documented pattern that cross-examination shifts into irrelevant personal territory instead of focusing on parenting exchanges. That's a tactical misstep. Judges expect cross-examination to challenge facts tied to the order, not introduce unrelated character points. The judge steps in and narrows the scope back to compliance with parenting orders. That intervention signals impatience with distractions and shows the court is focused strictly on whether the orders were followed. Attention returns to dates and specific make-up parenting time. Precision matters because contempt depends on whether a particular order on a particular day was obeyed or ignored. The timeline becomes the backbone of the decision. Then comes the key admission. She wasn't home for the exchange because she didn't believe he should have parenting time. That transforms the issue from disputed facts to intentional non-compliance, which is central to a contempt finding. The judge explains that personal beliefs don't override court orders. If someone disagrees, the remedy is to file a motion, not to ignore the order. That's a fundamental principle of family court enforcement. Claims about CPS and police are revisited, but without new admissible evidence or witnesses. They carry little weight in this hearing. Prior unsubstantiated investigations don't change the requirement to follow existing orders. Closing arguments sharpen the issue. The father's attorney asks for immediate enforcement, law enforcement assistance, and jail time, arguing that financial penalties have failed to change behavior. The requested remedy matches the documented pattern. The mother's closing is brief and emotional, focused on safety concerns, but not supported with evidence tied to the legal question. In a compliance hearing, emotion alone doesn't counter documented violations. The judge delivers a detailed ruling, listing each prior order and each failure to comply. That methodical approach shows the decision is based on a sustained pattern, not a single missed visit. Contempt is formally declared with make-up parenting time, attorney fees, and a 30-day jail sentence conditioned on compliance. The structure is coercive, designed to force the transfer of the children and payment of fees. An outburst at the end leads to an additional contempt finding and another 30 days, proving that courtroom behavior can immediately affect outcomes. Respect for the process matters as much as prior conduct. If you found this breakdown valuable, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.